My name is Mason, 62 years old, married for 38 years, built a $60 million empire from absolutely nothing. 4 weeks ago, I buried my wife, Evelyn. 3 days after that, my daughter Harper told me to pack my things and get out of my own house. She took everything: the estate, the accounts, the legacy I spent 4 decades building. And when I asked her where I was supposed to go, you know what she said? "Find a facility, Dad. Or don't. Honestly, I don't care anymore." I ended up in a $47 a night motel with a stain on the ceiling and nothing but a suitcase and my dead wife's personal files. But inside one of those files, I found something Harper never wanted me to see. Something that didn't just prove what she'd done. It destroyed everything she thought she'd won. 4 days after she threw me out like garbage, my daughter came crawling back, begging, crying, desperate. And you know what? I smiled, because revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the truth, delivered at exactly the right moment. This is the story of how I lost everything and took it all back, without throwing a single punch. Stick around, because what happens next will make you question everything you think you know about family, loyalty, and justice. If you want to see how a broken man brought his daughter's empire crashing down using nothing but the truth, subscribe right now and smash that bell icon so you don't miss a single chapter of this story. Drop a like if you believe karma is real. And comment below, have you ever been betrayed by family? Let's talk about it. The story starts now, and I promise you, this is unlike anything you've ever heard. I buried my wife on a Tuesday. Her name was Evelyn. Ev, to me, the only woman I'd ever loved. 38 years of marriage, 2 kids, a fortune built together from a single construction contract and a dream that refused to die. The funeral was at Riverside Memorial. White lilies everywhere. Her favorite. I stood at the front, staring at the casket, wondering how the hell I was supposed to keep breathing without her. Harper stood to my left. My daughter, 35 years old, sharp, polished, a PR executive with a perfect family and a smile that could sell anything. She didn't cry, not once. She just stood there, rigid, like she was waiting for something to end. Her husband Logan hovered beside her, tall, charming, the kind of guy who called everyone buddy and never picked up a check. He kept whispering things to Harper. She'd nod, cold, mechanical. I thought grief looked different on everyone. I didn't realize I was watching calculation. Owen, my son, sat in the second row with his wife and kids. 32, gentle, always the peacemaker. He caught my eye once during the service and tried to smile. It didn't reach his eyes. He looked afraid. At the reception, held at our family estate, the sprawling property I'd designed and built with my own hands, I felt like a stranger. Harper was already moving through rooms, pointing at furniture, whispering to Logan. She had her phone out, taking photos. I watched her pause in front of the built-in bookshelves in the study, the ones Evelyn and I had commissioned on our 20th anniversary. She framed a shot, typed something, smiled. I wanted to ask her what she was doing, but I couldn't find the words. Grief has a way of swallowing your voice. People came up to me all afternoon, Evelyn's friends, business associates. They squeezed my shoulder, said things like, "She's in a better place," and "You'll get through this." I nodded, smiled when I was supposed to. But I wasn't there. Not really. I was stuck in the memory of Evelyn's last words to me, 3 days before she died. "Mason, if something happens to me, promise me you'll fight for what's yours. Don't let anyone take advantage of your grief." I'd kissed her forehead, told her nothing was going to happen, that we still had time. We didn't. That night, after everyone left, I sat alone in the living room. The house felt enormous, empty. Harper appeared in the doorway. Logan stood behind her, arms crossed. "Dad," she said. Her voice was flat, professional. "We need to talk." I looked up. Okay. She walked to the armchair across from me but didn't sit. Just stood there, looking down at me like I was a problem she was about to solve. Mom left everything to me. I blinked. What? The estate, the trust, the investment accounts, all of it. She pulled a stack of papers from a leather folder and set them on the coffee table. It's all in her will. I'm the sole beneficiary. My chest tightened. That's not possible. We built this together. Your mother wouldn't. She did. Harper's voice didn't waver. And honestly, Dad, you should have seen this coming. You were never good with money. Mom knew that. She wanted to protect me. Protect her grandchildren. Harper, I need you out by Friday. The words hit like a sledgehammer. What? Logan and I are moving in with Caleb and Abigail. The kids need space. You don't. She glanced around the room. This house is too much for one person anyway. I stared at her. My daughter. The girl I'd taught to ride a bike. The one who used to curl up on my lap during thunderstorms. Where am I supposed to go? She shrugged. Actually shrugged. I don't know. A retirement community? An apartment? There are options, Dad. You'll figure it out. Logan stepped forward, putting a hand on Harper's shoulder. We're not trying to be cruel, Mason. This is just what's best for everyone. I looked at him, then back at Harper. Best for everyone, I repeated quietly. Yeah. She turned toward the door. I'll have someone help you pack tomorrow. Good night, Dad. They left. I sat there in the silence, staring at the papers on the table. And for the first time since Evelyn died, I felt something other than grief. I felt rage. I packed my life into 2 suitcases. 62 years. A marriage, a business, a home I'd built with my own hands. 2 suitcases. Harper didn't help. She was upstairs with an interior designer, laughing about finally modernizing this place. I could hear her through the walls. Logan carried one of my bags to the car, gave me a firm handshake. Take care of yourself, Mason. And hey, no hard feelings, right? I didn't answer. I drove to the Northway Inn on the edge of town. $47 a night. The kind of place where the ice machine doesn't work and the Bible in the drawer is missing pages. The room smelled like cigarettes and regret. I sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the ceiling. There was a water stain shaped like a knife. My phone buzzed. A text from Owen. Dad, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help, but Harper controls everything now. If I go against her, she'll freeze me out too. Please understand. I typed back. I understand. I didn't. I called Harper. No answer. I left a voicemail. Sweetheart, please, can we just talk? I don't understand what I did wrong. I don't understand why you're doing this. She never called back. I went to a diner for breakfast. Ordered coffee and toast. The waitress, a woman named Emily, looked at me the way people look at ghosts. You okay, hun? I nodded. I wasn't. I scrolled through Facebook while I ate. A mistake. Harper had posted a photo. The estate. A champagne flute in her hand. Logan beside her, grinning. The caption read, New beginnings, letting go of dead weight and stepping into the next chapter. Grateful for fresh starts. 200 likes, 50 comments. You deserve this. So proud of you. Cheers to new adventures. I stared at the screen until my coffee went cold. Dead weight. She'd called me dead weight. I tried calling Owen again. He answered this time. Dad, I can't keep doing this. Harper's furious that I even talked to you. She says you're trying to manipulate me. Owen, I'm not. I know you're not. But she has the lawyers, Dad. She has everything. I can't fight her. So you're just going to let her get away with this? Silence. I'm sorry, he whispered. He hung up. I sat in that motel room, staring at a cardboard box I'd been avoiding. Evelyn's personal files. The ones she kept in the locked drawer of her desk. I'd found the key in her jewelry box the day after the funeral. I'd been too scared to open it. But now, Sitting in a $47 a night room with nothing left to lose, I finally did. Inside, I found a handwritten letter, dated 2 months before Evelyn died. Mason, if you're reading this, something has gone terribly wrong. I tried to protect you, but I was so tired, so weak. Harper kept pushing. She said it was for the best, that I needed to secure her future. I changed the will so many times, but every time I did, she found out. She got so angry. I'm scared of her, Mason. I'm scared of what she's become. My hands shook. I kept digging. Bank statements, Evelyn's personal accounts, withdrawals, thousands of dollars at a time, going back years, forged signatures, Harper's name on every transaction, then an email, printed out, dated 6 months ago, from Harper to a lawyer named Abigail Ross. We need to accelerate the trust transfer before Mom's condition worsens. I can't risk her changing her mind again. Can we make sure my father has zero claim? The reply, if we structure it correctly and ensure she signs under the medical POA, yes, he'll have no legal standing. I read it 3 times. Then I stood up, walked to the window, and smiled. Not because I was happy, because for the first time in 4 days I knew exactly what I was going to do. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in that motel room surrounded by papers reading every document 3, 4, 5 times, making sure I wasn't seeing things, making sure this was real. It was. My daughter had stolen from her dying mother. She'd manipulated Evelyn when she was at her weakest, forged signatures, drained accounts. And then, when Evelyn was finally gone, Harper had looked me in the eye and told me to leave. By sunrise, I'd made a list, a plan, and the first name on that list was Abigail Ross. Abigail Ross had an office downtown, 15th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, the kind of place that screamed power. Her assistant told me she didn't take walk-ins. I told her assistant I had evidence of estate fraud involving millions of dollars. Abigail saw me in 10 minutes. She was younger than I expected, maybe 40. Sharp suit, sharper eyes. She didn't waste time on pleasantries. You have 60 seconds to tell me why I shouldn't have security escort you out. I slid the folder across her desk. She opened it, started reading. Her expression didn't change, but I saw her jaw tighten. How long has this been going on? She asked. Years, maybe longer. I only found out 4 days ago. She flipped through the bank statements, the emails, Evelyn's letter. Mr. Mason, she said slowly, your daughter didn't just manipulate your wife. She committed elder financial abuse, fraud, possibly forgery. If we take this to the authorities, she could face criminal charges. The words hung in the air. Criminal charges? My daughter. I don't want her in prison, I said quietly. Abigail looked up. Then what do you want? I thought about the motel room, the water stain, the Facebook post, dead weight. I want her to admit what she did. I want the estate returned to what Evelyn actually intended, and I want Harper to understand that she doesn't get to erase me. Abigail leaned back in her chair. That's reasonable. But here's the problem. People like your daughter don't admit guilt unless they're forced to, and even then, they'll fight like hell. So, what do I do? She smiled, not warmly. You give her a chance to make this right. One chance. And when she refuses, because she will, you take off the gloves. I called Harper that afternoon. She answered on the 4th ring, annoyed. What, Dad? I need to see you. I'm busy. Harper, please, just meet me for coffee. 1 hour. That's all I'm asking. She sighed. Fine, tomorrow, but make it quick. We met at a cafe downtown, neutral ground. Harper showed up 20 minutes late, carrying a designer purse and wearing sunglasses indoors. She sat down without apologizing. What do you want? I slid the folder across the table. She frowned, opened it. I watched her face carefully. The moment she saw the bank statements, her skin went pale. "Where did you get this?" "Mom's desk, the locked drawer." She closed the folder. Fast, like it might burn her. "This doesn't prove anything." "It proves you've been stealing from her for years. It proves you forged her signature. It proves you manipulated her while she was dying." Harper's hands were shaking now, but her voice stayed cold. "Mom trusted me with her finances. She gave me power of attorney because she knew you couldn't handle it. She gave you power of attorney because you convinced her she had no choice." "That's not true." "Harper." I leaned forward. "I know what you did. I have emails, documents, Evelyn's own words. If I take this to the police, you lose everything. The estate, your reputation. Possibly your freedom." She stared at me. Then she laughed. Not a real laugh. A bitter, broken sound. "You won't. Try me." She stood up, grabbed her purse. "You're bluffing. You're a sad, lonely old man who can't accept that Mom loved me more than she loved you." She leaned down, her voice venomous. "Do your worst, Dad. No one's going to believe you over me." She walked out. I sat there for a long moment. Then I pulled out my phone. Searched for a name. Emily Chen. Investigative journalist. Known for exposing corruption among wealthy families. I typed an email. "Ms. Chen, my name is Mason. I have a story you're going to want to hear. It involves a $60 million estate, a dying woman, and the daughter who stole it all. Are you interested?" I hit send. 3 hours later, she replied, "When can we meet?" Emily Chen met me at a diner 2 days later. She was in her early 30s. Recording equipment, notebook, the kind of journalist who didn't miss a detail. She ordered coffee. I ordered nothing. "Tell me everything," she said. So I did. I told her about Evelyn, about Harper, about the estate and the bank statements and the emails, about the motel room and the Facebook post and the words that still echoed in my head. Dead weight. Emily listened without interrupting. When I finished, she sat back. "This is going to ruin her. You know that, right?" I nodded. "And you're okay with that?" I thought about it. Really thought about it. "She had a choice," I said quietly. "Every single day she chose cruelty. I'm just choosing truth." Emily smiled. "Good, because I'm going to make sure everyone hears it." The article went live on a Sunday morning. I was sitting in the motel room when my phone started buzzing. Text messages, emails, calls from numbers I didn't recognize. I opened my laptop. The headline stared back at me. "How a grieving daughter allegedly stole millions and left her father homeless." Underneath, Emily's byline. And a photo of the estate. I started reading. It was detailed, meticulous. Every document I'd given her, carefully anonymized but unmistakable. Quotes from Abigail about elder financial abuse, my first-hand account of being kicked out of my own home, and the kicker, a screenshot of Harper's Facebook post. Letting go of dead weight. Within an hour, the article was trending. #Justice for Mason. People were sharing it, commenting, tagging Harper's company. By noon, local news had picked it up. By evening, it was national. My phone rang. Logan. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. "What the hell did you do?" he shouted. "I told the truth. You destroyed us. Harper's been put on administrative leave. Our kids are being harassed at school. People are showing up at the house. Do you have any idea what you've done?" "Yes," I said calmly. "I stopped letting you get away with it." "This isn't about justice, Mason. This is about revenge." "Maybe, but it's also about consequences." He hung up. 2 hours later, someone knocked on my motel room door. I opened it. Harper stood there. She looked small. No makeup, hair pulled back, eyes red and swollen. "Dad." I didn't move. "Please," she whispered. "Make it stop." "Make what stop?" "The article. The posts, the reporters, everything. Her voice cracked. I'll give you half. I'll give you everything. Just please, make them stop. I stared at my daughter, the girl who used to hold my hand at crosswalks, the woman who told me to die somewhere else. You had 4 days to do the right thing, Harper. You chose to call me a liar. I was scared. So was I. But I didn't steal from you. I didn't manipulate you. I didn't erase you. She started crying. Full, broken sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean, Logan said. He told me. I held up a hand. Logan. She nodded, wiping her face. He's the one who found the lawyer. He convinced me that you were going to ruin everything Mom built, that I needed to protect myself. I didn't know about his debts, Dad. I swear I didn't know. I felt something shift. What debts? Harper looked up, confused. You don't know? Know what? She pulled out her phone, showed me a bank statement. Logan's name. Gambling debts. Over $800,000. He needed the estate money to cover it, Harper said quietly. I only found out 2 days ago. After the article dropped, he admitted everything. I stared at the screen, and for the first time, I saw my daughter not as the villain, but as someone who'd been used. Harper, I know I'm not innocent, she said quickly. I made choices, terrible choices, but I thought I was protecting us. I thought. She broke down again. I don't know what I thought. I didn't hug her, but I didn't close the door either. We're going to court, I said, and you're going to tell the truth, all of it. She nodded. Okay. The mediation happened 3 weeks later. A sterile conference room, long table, too much fluorescent lighting. Harper sat across from me with her lawyer. Logan sat beside her, but they weren't touching. They weren't even looking at each other. Owen was there too, sitting on my side of the table. He'd finally found his spine. Abigail sat next to me, briefcase open, documents stacked like artillery. The mediator, a gray-haired woman named Judge Pritchard, folded her hands. Let's begin. Abigail presented the evidence methodically. The bank statements showing years of unauthorized withdrawals, the forged signatures on power of attorney documents, the emails between Harper and her first lawyer strategizing how to cut me out before Evelyn's condition worsened. Every piece of paper felt like a nail in a coffin. Harper sat frozen. Logan kept shifting in his seat. Then Abigail dropped the bomb. We'd also like to submit evidence of Mr. Logan's financial history. She slid a folder across the table. Logan's gambling debts, casino records, loan statements from offshore accounts, over $800,000 in total. Mr. Logan pressured Harper to secure the estate, not to protect her future, but to cover his own reckless spending. Logan's lawyer started to object, but Logan cut him off. Stop. Everyone turned. Logan's face was red, jaw tight. Just stop. He looked at Harper, then at me. You want the truth? Fine, I screwed up. I got in over my head and I panicked. I told Harper that Mason was going to bleed the estate dry, that he'd already wasted money, that Evelyn wanted her protected. Harper's voice was barely a whisper. You lied to me. I didn't lie. I exaggerated. You destroyed my relationship with my father. I was trying to save us. There is no us anymore, Logan. The room went silent. Judge Pritchard cleared her throat. Mrs. Harper, do you have anything you'd like to say? Harper looked at me. Her eyes were red, hands trembling. She swallowed. I knew what I was doing. Not all of it. Not the debts. But I knew I was shutting you out, Dad. And I told myself it was for the right reasons. That Mom wanted me to be strong, independent. That you were a liability. Her voice cracked. But the truth is I was angry. Angry that Mom was dying and I couldn't stop it. Angry that you got to be the grieving husband while I had to handle everything. The medical bills, the lawyers, the funeral. I blamed you for not being stronger, for not fixing it. Tears streamed down her face now. And when Logan told me you'd ruin everything, I believed him, because it was easier than admitting I was falling apart. She looked directly at me. I'm so sorry, Dad. I was cruel. I was selfish. And I don't deserve your forgiveness. I didn't speak. I just listened. Then Abigail pulled out one more document. Before we proceed to settlement terms, there's something Mason would like everyone to see. She opened her laptop, turned it toward the table. A video file. She hit play. Evelyn's face filled the screen. She was in bed, thin, pale, but her eyes were clear. Mason. Her voice was weak but steady. If you're watching this, it means Harper found a way to cut you out. I tried to stop her. I changed the will 3 times, but every time I did, she'd ask questions, get upset, say I didn't trust her. Harper gasped. Evelyn continued. I was so tired, too tired to fight, so I signed what she wanted, but I recorded this because I need you to know the truth. Harper isn't cruel. She's scared. She's been scared her whole life of not being enough, and I enabled that. I let her believe control was the same as love. Evelyn coughed, took a breath. I forgive her, and I hope you can too. But don't let her erase you, Mason. You built this life. You deserve to live it. She smiled, weak, beautiful. I love you, both of you. Fix this, please. The screen went black. No one moved. Harper was sobbing now, full body-shaking sobs. Owen had his head in his hands. Logan just stared at the table. Judge Pritchard gave everyone a moment. Then she spoke. Let's discuss settlement. The terms. The estate would be split 50-50 between Harper and Mason, as Evelyn had originally intended. Harper would repay the fraudulent withdrawals over 5 years. Logan would be formally named in a financial abuse investigation. His access to Harper's assets would be terminated immediately. Harper would sign a formal written apology to be read into the court record. Harper signed everything without hesitation. When it was over, she stood, walked around the table, and hugged me. I didn't hug her back right away, but after a moment, I did. I'm sorry, she whispered again. I know. 6 months later. I'm sitting on a bench in Riverside Park. Same park where Evelyn and I used to walk every Sunday morning. The leaves are changing. October, her favorite month. I've got a coffee in one hand and a book I'm not really reading in the other. Life is different now. I didn't move back into the estate, didn't want to. Too many ghosts. Instead, I bought a small condo overlooking the river. 2 bedrooms, a balcony. It's quiet. It's mine. I started volunteering at a legal aid clinic downtown, helping other seniors navigate estate issues, elder abuse cases. It's hard work, but it feels like I'm turning my pain into something useful. Harper and I talk now. Not every day, but enough. She divorced Logan. He's facing charges. I don't feel good about that, but I don't feel bad either. She moved into a smaller house with Caleb and Abigail. Started therapy. She tells me it's helping. We meet for coffee every other week. It's awkward sometimes. There are silences, moments where we both remember what was said, what was done. But we're trying. Today's different, though. Today, Harper texted me this morning. Can we meet at the park? I want to show you something. I see her walking toward me now. She's holding hands with Caleb and Abigail, my grandkids, 7 and 9. They break free and run toward me. Grandpa! They crash into me with hugs. I laugh, hold them tight. Harper sits down beside me. She's nervous. I did something, and I wanted you to be the first to know. She hands me a folded piece of paper. I open it. It's a donation receipt. $5 million to the Evelyn Carter Foundation for Elder Advocacy. I stare at it. I started it last month, Harper says quietly. In Mom's name. It helps seniors facing financial abuse, legal fees, housing, support groups. I thought, maybe it could help people like you, people who almost lost everything. My throat tightens. Harper. I can't undo what I did, Dad. I know that. But I can try to make sure no one else's family goes through what we did. I look at her, really look at her, and I see Evelyn. Not the woman who was manipulated, but the woman who believed people could change, who believed in second chances. Your mom would be proud, I say. Harper's eyes fill with tears. You think so? I know so. Caleb tugs on my sleeve. Grandpa, can we go feed the ducks? I smile. Yeah, buddy, let's go. As we walk toward the pond, Harper falls into step beside me. Do you think you'll ever forgive me? She asks softly. I think about it. Really think. I don't know, I say honestly, but I think we're going to be okay. She nods, wipes her eyes. That's enough. We stand at the edge of the water, watching Caleb and Abigail throw breadcrumbs. The ducks swarm. The kids laugh. And for the first time in a long time, I feel something I didn't think I'd feel again. Peace. Not because everything's fixed, but because I didn't let bitterness destroy me. I fought for my dignity, my truth, and I survived. Some stories don't end with perfect forgiveness. Some end with survival. And you know what? That's enough. If Mason's story moved you, if it reminded you that even in our darkest moments we can choose dignity over destruction, then do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel right now. Smash that like button, and comment below and tell me, what did this story teach you about family, forgiveness, or fighting for what's right? Share this with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's been betrayed, someone who's fighting their own battle, because stories like Mason's remind us that we're not alone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And remember, your story isn't over yet. Keep fighting, keep healing, keep going. I'll see you in the next one.